Again, I'm here to discuss another important topic with you, which is related with the legislature. We will talk about the legislature, which is an important organ of or element of government. So let me tell you that legislate. What is the definition? If I ask a question from you that what is the simple definition of legislature? So what will be your answer? How can you answer me? And how you will explain this concept of legislature? So I would like to tell you that an evaluation I have discussed this concept. Let me check that whether I am visible audible or not. Let me check it. Okay, I am uh, I am uh, audible, I think. So let me tell you the concept of legislature, and we will discuss this amazing concept. Okay, legislature. Legislature is actually laws making organ of government, and legislature we have to make law. It will be responsible to create or make laws. This is the simple definition of legislature. So again, there will be some destruction outside, and because I am having my work, so don't worry, and we have to focus on our things. We have to make this session productive, and we have to understand these things. As I am crossing by other humans, so it is the human nature that they are cruel, brutish, and naughty by nature, so they will create disturbance. It is obvious, and it is quite clear that they will create disturbance. So let me tell you that legislation. Let us focus on our topic, legislature. Legislature is actually law-making organ of government, and legislature we have to make laws. For example, there are we have in Pakistan we have. Now let me tell you the example of legislature. That what are the example of legislature, and we will be discussing the example of legislature from the paper 2 point of view, from the perspective of paper 2, and I will be giving the example from paper 2, because these example will have help in the paper 2 legislature. Now I request you to write the example. And legislation we have parliament. What is parliament? What is difference between legislature and parliament? Can you? So I will leave it on the refined sense on the refined sense of your judgment and things and thinking that what is different between parliament and legislature. Actually, you can use these concepts alternatively, but and the example of legislature are parliament. And Pakistan, India, UK, France, Germany. We will discuss Pakistan, India, UK, France, and Germany in paper 2. So And the example of legislature is parliament, and parliament will be there in Pakistan, India, UK, France and Germany. While in US the legislature is called Congress, but in Pakistan it will be known as parliament. In China we have NDC, sorry, NPC, you can check it, NPC. And in Turkey we have Grand National Assembly, GNA, and Iran we have ICA. So these were the examples of legislature, parliament, Congress, NDC and NPC, GNA and ICA. Parliament can be consist of two houses, upper house and lower house, while it can be only a single house. We have the example of GNA, ICA and NPC and China, and GNA and Grand National Assembly and Turkey, and in Iran we have ICA. So these are the example of parliament, Congress, and the NPC, GNA and ICA are the examples of legislature. Actually legislature is the plural body of government. So in legislature we have bodies, it will be plural, and it will consist of upper as well as lower house. So don't we have, let me tell you that legislature is actually about the okay, we were discussing about the upper house and lower house, and in legislature we have two types of system, bicameral and unicameral. And in bicameral we will have two houses, while in unicameral we will have one house, and bicameral we have two houses, upper house and lower house. Like in Pakistan, as I have given you the example, US and Pakistan, the upper house is called Senate and lower house is called National Assembly. And France and India, this is also the same, upper and lower house, and US. And remember, this is another important point, and you should note it, that mostly in federation we have two houses. And federation, there must be two houses in federation system. While unicameral is related with Turkey, China and Iran, as I have discussed it. Now let me tell you the function of another subtopic of legislature, is the function of legislation. This will be an important point to be noted, is that 90% same of the constitution only. This will be applied to each and every constitution, except there will be some minor differences, and we will sort these differences out later in the paper 2. So the function of legislature will be lawmaking. It will make laws, it will amend, it will be responsible to bring amendment and laws. It can repeal laws, can reject laws, and it can also declaration of war. It can declare wars in mostly cases. Constitutional amendment, it will be responsible for constitutional amendment, and controls it also control financial issues, and legislature is actually, let me tell you that this point should be noted that legislature is the purse of a nation. If you are able to understand these concepts, then you have to comment over there so that we can make this session productive, and this way you will learn a lot of ideas about many things. So I have clear and you will have clear understandings of things. You will understand each and every concept very clearly in a very productive way. Impeachment. Now, let me tell you that impeachment is for impeachment, the function of legislature is also impeachment. It will be responsible for impeachment. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask, and I will be answering. I will also tell you some other important points, and you should note them down. Let me clear it again. And I will also discuss types of majority. We have absolute majority, and we have absolute majority and popular majority, and these things. Like the impeachment or the vote of non-confidence in the case of PTI governments. The other function of legislature is in parliamentary system, vote of confidence for home of house of government, as well as vote of no confidence for the selection of prime minister. This will require absolute majority. And I have discussed 1 to 9 points. From point number 1 to 5, we have the concept of upper house, and the 1 to 5 there will be from point number 1. What was the point number 1? The point number 1 was law making, law amendment, law repeal, और हमारे पास then we have declaration of war. तो इसके लिए हमारे पास अपर हाउस और लोअर हाउस दोनों रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगी. दिस विल बी द कलेक्टिव responsibility of both upper and lower house. While point number 7 we have lower house and upper house, and but in point number 6, what was the point number 6? The function the function 6 was to control finance. So you should note that in the case of controlling the finance, one should have to both houses will be responsible, but it is not necessary that the upper house approve it. Only the lower house can approve it. And for the point number 7, the both houses, upper house and lower house, must agree. And 9 impeachment and vote of no confidence and vote of confidence, only lower house is responsible. Now what is difference between vote of no confidence and vote of confidence? You should have clear idea about these things. Through these you can dismiss the assembly, or you can dismiss the prime minister or head of state, HOS, head of state. So through vote of confidence and vote of no confidence is related with, both are related with it. Now types of majority. There we have two types of majority: simple majority and and absolute majority. In the case of simple majority, we have to simple majority will be 50% plus 1. While but in the case of simple majority, it will not be required that it will be from total. For example, if there are 100 members and in the house there only present 90 members, so we have to calculate the simple majority in 90s, not in the whole number. But in case of absolute majority, we will consider 100, not 90. We will consider both present as well as the absent members. So this is the minute difference between the two, and you will have clear idea about these concept after reading from the book of Mazharul Haq. And if you need notes, then you can also tell me. So this was from my side. We will discuss other concept in the coming lecture. Be happy, stay blessed, and have more wisdom ahead.